Hi guys, welcome to my video and my YouTube channel. My name is Ronnie and today we are going to talk about the red enemy again. I know I've been talking about this enemy many times now, but it doesn't matter. It's one of the most important things in the whole game. But let's just get into it. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee and some popcorn and let's begin. So this enemy has been a long time coming, right? When I started working on this game, I was super afraid of making enemies because I just had an idea that it was extremely difficult to do. So I just kept pushing it ahead of me for a very, very long time. So when I finally got the courage to start on some kind of enemy, I started by just cloning the main character and turning him into an enemy, because he already had a lot of animations, attacks and death animations and everything. So I just cloned the player character and turned him into an enemy and changed his color to red. And after playing around with this cloned enemy for a while, I made a new character model for this enemy, which was just a skeleton. Right, so I just modeled a basic skeleton character and then skinned the mesh to the player rig again. So again, I could still keep the same animations and everything. And now he went from a clone of the player to a skeleton, which was awesome. The AI on this skeleton enemy was still super basic. He could just walk around. When he saw the player, he could run towards him and he could attack and he could die. And that was basically all there was to this enemy at this state. But now I had a basic enemy and it was working. So that was a great starting point for the red enemy, which was the idea from the beginning. And guys, this also needs to be said. I had absolutely no experience in making games at all. All I could do was animate, right? I'm an animator, so I animate. And even things like model characters and anything I hated, I don't want to spend any time on it. And let alone get into a game engine and get everything working with AI is just absolutely mind-blowing to me that it's possible. And again, this is all thanks to YouTube. I just followed YouTube videos like an idiot until I got something up that works on the screen. So YouTube's absolutely fantastic. So guys, don't be afraid of starting your own game. Just look up some YouTube videos, tutorials on Unreal and Blender and all that, and just get going. Just create something and put it in. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You will learn from everything, right? I've learned so much from when I started on this project. It's absolutely insane. I can do stuff now in Unreal without looking up tutorials, which again, it blows my mind. So just get going, guys. Don't let anything hold you back from starting your game, right? Anyone can do it. I mean, if I can do it, any idiot can do it, trust me. Anyways, I wanted to get my red enemy into the game, so I started modeling this super basic low poly red in 3ds Max. And I mean, looking at it now, it's not embarrassing because we all start somewhere, right? But it's not really what I had in mind. My modeling skills are very limited, right? So I came up with this model. And I mean, at the time I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And watching this dude running around in the game, again, it blows my mind, right? He had glowing eyes and he looked absolutely menacing compared to the skeleton enemy I had before. But with this new model and the new rig that comes with it, it just meant that I could do a lot more than with the skeleton character, right? Now I could make animation that fits this character better and not just using the player character animations as I have done before. And even though the model is super simple, I thought he was awesome, right? And it doesn't matter if the model was not that great, because I mean it's a side-scrolling game where the camera is far away, so you don't really see all the bad edges and polygons on this character. You just see the character, right? And that's kind of all that matters. And some of these rats even have some armor plates on them, right? So he's kind of armored. And I spent way too much time on modeling these simple armor pieces. And then after a long time, I learned about this little magic program called Blender, right? So I wanted to take my rat enemy and see if I could improve him in Blender by sculpting on him, right? I have never sculpted anything before in my life. So I just dragged in this simple low poly model into Blender, turned on the sculpting, and just started to painting, sculpt, whatever you call it, on this character to see if I could get anything that looks more like a rat than this one did. And this time I wanted even more natural rat proportions for the character, right? With this fat body and these fat legs and these thin feet and hands. So it's you know, I mean, we all know what rats look like, right? They're not some kind of skinny little animal. These are fat bastards, right? So I wanted this new rat design to be more like a real rat standing on two legs. And somehow I managed to create an even better rat model, this time in Blender. Again, mind-blowing stuff, guys. To me, this is absolutely mind-blowing. I had no idea that it was even possible for me to create a good-looking model, right? Because I hate modeling and I have never really done it. I have always tried to avoid modeling anything. So this was an eye-opener for me. A whole new world of possibilities. And now, guys, what this whole video is about is the new rat model, the new animations, the new behavior, the new everything, right? So after a long time getting to know Blender and improving my Blender skills, right, I started on this new rat model. And it's absolutely fantastic. I call him Ratman 3.0 because he has been through so many iterations, right? And this is what he looks like. An absolutely badass rat. And I'm super proud of the way he looks and the work I have put into this guy. And what's even better, he is fully rigged and animated in Blender now. So no more 3D Studio Max. That program just pisses me off today after I've been trying Blender for so long. I have made all new animations, and even though he only has a few attacks, right? He has one simple attack and then he has a jump attack. And I will add more attacks later down the road, of course. But again, the more important animations for me are these, what you call them, in-between animations, where he's not attacking and where he's not roaming around when he's chasing you. When he gets too close to you, he will jump back to get some distance so he can attack. He can even roll away from you, turn around and attack you from a distance. He will sometimes stop up and taunt you, right? He will kind of roar into your face to scare you. All these small animations are what makes up the whole personality of this enemy, and is some of the most important animations on any character in any game, if you ask me. I mean, to me, they are just as important as the attack animations themselves. He can also block your attacks with his shield. I mean, there's just a percentage chance that he will block your attacks. And once he goes into the block state, he will stay there for a few seconds just to make sure that he blocks everything you throws at him, right? So you just need to keep a short break from the attacks so he can let his guard down, right? And then you can bash him again. So with all these animations, like taunting animations, rolling animation, blocking, all these things just makes him look a lot smarter than just a mindless zombie enemy. Oh, and guys, before we continue, I need to remind you that I have made this awesome animation tutorial for Blender on how to animate a walk cycle for a spider, right? So if you want to learn how to animate like a badass, you need to check out this video. There's a link in the description below. I also did a small animation test where kind of tentacles kind of burst out through his mouth, right? Like I need some of these rats in the game to be infected with this cosmic disease that is going around into the dungeon. So I was just playing around with how I could do things with tentacles, right? Because tentacles are super badass, right? So I need some of these rats to be infected with tentacle disease or whatever we call it. But again, this whole infected rat I will look at that later on. First we need the basics to work. So I also cloned this rat and made a white friendly version of this rat, so I can just pitch them against each other so I can see how they would fight each other. Sometimes things are popping up when AI is fighting AI and not the player, because the player will be moving around a little differently than the AI characters would move around. And I always get a kick out of watching two AI characters fight against each other, right? I think that's just great entertainment. I still have a lot of work to do on this rat. Like for example, the fatality moves I had implemented, I don't know, a year or two ago. Those have all been removed for now because I'm creating a new AI system which is built up from actor components, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. That's super heavy stuff. And it's also super boring if you ask me, but anyways, I need to get the fatality moves back into the game again. Those are super awesome with the slow motion and the camera zoom and the blood, and everything looks fantastic when it works. So I need to recreate those again on the new rat and set everything up and make it work in the actor components, which is controlling the AI. They also need death animations and more hurt animations. I haven't done that now. But again guys, this all may look super cool in this 10-15 minute video I'm doing here, but the fact is that this new iteration of the rat in Blender with the new rig and animations, new behavior using actor components and Unreal, it has just taken me close to, I don't know, 5 months now since I started this whole enemy rework. But anyway guys, this video have been on the way for a long time now. I've been working on this new enemy for a very long time, so I just haven't gotten anything interesting to show in the meanwhile, which is why it has been so long since the last video. So if you don't hear anything from me in a long time, it's probably because I'm sitting at my desk and banging my head against the wall like an idiot. But guys, that is all I have for you this time. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.